It's been one of the more talked about transfer stories, a potential move for a young English international. There's been talk of him going to Manchester City, Liverpool and Real Madrid, and it seems now Bellingham has made his decision and made his mind up that he wants to play for Real Madrid. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to move Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid, and then we're going to see how he does in each and every season all the way up until he retires. So you can see here, he is currently in the game. It's June 2022. He is at Dortmund. We're going to set it up so that he moves to Real Madrid in July 2023. So we'll skip forward to that now. So here is the news article confirming that Real Madrid completed the signing of Jude Bellingham for a fee of £150 million. Here he is, number 6 is the shirt he's wearing, and he's got a very high transfer value indeed. Let's just see how he did in the season with Dortmund that we've just had. So he played 34 times, 4 goals, 6 assists, 5 man of the match awards, and an average rating of 7.16. Not too bad at all. And he was in a Dortmund side that won the German Cup. So the first bit of silverware in this little experiment video. So we're now at the end of the first season that Jude Bellingham has spent with Real Madrid, and we can see here that he has won La Liga with the Spanish side. He also got his first international goal against Poland in that time period as well. How has he done on an individual basis? Well, he's played 36 times, 7 assists, 2 man of the match awards, no goals yet for Real Madrid, but an average rating of 7.08, which is a pretty decent start to his life at Madrid. So he's played his second season in Spain now. He's played 32 times, so 4 games fewer than last season, but he's actually managed to get a few goals, a couple of goals this season, 2 goals in fact, 5 assists, 1 man of the match award, an average rating which is slightly better than his first season at Madrid. How have they done in terms of competitions this year? Well, they've won La Liga once again, and they've also won the Spanish Cup. He's won a personal award of the Spanish League Young Player of the Year award as well, and was named in the England Seasonal Best 11. Time for season 3 now, and it's not as many games played for Bellingham at Real Madrid this year. 28 games, that's 4 less than the season before. 3 goals for him this year though, which is a record number of goals for him in a Madrid shirt. 4 assists and 1 player of the match award, and that average rating keeps going up. He's up at 7.41 now. I was just intrigued to see if he'd picked up some injuries, and he's picked up a couple of minor injuries, but nothing that would have made him miss the extra 4 games. So that must have just been squad rotation that's caused that. In terms of competitions, he's won the Spanish Cup and La Liga again. So Real Madrid dominating in Spain, but not managing to do anything on the European stage. Now in his 4th season with Madrid, he's managed to play 34 games, score 2 goals, 9 assists, which is a new high for him, 4 player of the match awards, an average rating of 7.22, looking pretty good. He's cementing his place as one of the Real Madrid regulars, I would assume at this point. And no Spanish League title though for Real Madrid this year. They won the Spanish Cup and the Spanish Super Cup, losing out in the league to Barcelona by 1 point. So the first season where Jude Bellingham doesn't pick up the domestic league title, and we're still waiting for any sort of success in Europe or internationally with England. Season 5 now, and he played 1 more game than the season before, playing 35 times, scoring 2 goals once again, 8 assists this time with 4 player of the match awards, a 7.33 average rating. He's solidly above a 7 average rating every single time, scoring at least a goal every season, at least 2 goals every season. He is performing quite well for Real Madrid, as you would imagine him to do. And he's finally got a taste of some European silverware, as Real Madrid have won the Champions League for the first time in this experiment in the 2028 season. They've also won La Liga once again after that year off, losing out to Barcelona, and they've won the Spanish Super Cup. We're up to season 6 now, and he's played 33 times, so he's regularly getting above 30 games in a season for Real Madrid. He's got 2 goals once again for the 3rd season in a row, 6 assists, 1 player of the match award, 7.25 average rating. What has he won this year? He has won the Champions League back-to-back times for Real Madrid. Not the first time that they've done that in their storied history. La Liga title once again coming to Madrid, as well as the Spanish Cup and the Spanish Super Cup. Season 7 now, and he's played 35 times, 2 goals once again, 8 assists and 2 player of the match awards with an average rating of 7.36. Real Madrid have won absolutely nothing this year. I think it's a World Cup year, so we'll see how England have done. We'll check on Real Madrid in a second as well. I realise that I've not actually looked at how England have been doing. So we'll look at the Euros first, and England got knocked out at the second round stage of the Euros in 2024. How did they do in 2028? They got knocked out at the quarters to France. We're more than well aware of losing in the quarters to France in international competitions now. In the World Cup in 2022, England actually lost. This is quite accurate. England lost 4-0 to France in the quarterfinals. Obviously, we didn't lose 4-0 in real life, but we did lose to France in the quarterfinal stage. And in World Cup 2026, England made it all the way to the final of the World Cup, but they lost 1-0 to Portugal. And World Cup 2030 is actually currently ongoing as we've got to the 30th of June. England have just beaten Uruguay by 3-2. Did Jude Bellingham play in that game? Yes, Bellingham in the centre of midfield with Declan Rice in a 3-2 extra time win over Uruguay. So looking at how Real Madrid did, since they didn't actually win anything this season, they made it to the semi-final of the Spanish Cup, losing out to Barca. They got to the round of 16 of the Champions League, losing out to Spurs, and they lost in the Spanish Super Cup final to Barcelona as well. I'm assuming Barcelona went on to win the league. Yes, by 1 point yet again. Another season in the books for Bellingham, and one where he's played the least amount of times out of any of the seasons he's had at Real Madrid so far in Season 8. He's only played 23 times, still managed to get his annual 2 goals, only 3 assists, 1 Player of the Match award, 7.11 average rating. Now, did he get a big injury this year? Is that why he was out? He had a torn pectoral, which kept him out for 6 weeks in this season, so that kind of explains his absence. How have Real Madrid done? They have won La Liga and won the Spanish Super Cup once again. And England losing in the final of the World Cup this time to France by 1-0. Poor Jude just can't seem to get any luck on the international stage. Now, we know Real Madrid did quite well domestically, but European football-wise, they made it all the way to the Champions League final, losing on penalties to PSG. So a pretty good season overall for Real Madrid in what is Jude Bellingham's 8th season with them, even though he didn't get to play as much as he has in the previous years. Another season at Real Madrid for Bellingham, and another season where he doesn't play as many games as you'd expect. 24 games this time. 1 more than last year. Only 1 goal scored. The first time he scored just a goal since his first season with Dortmund back in 2021. Obviously, he's got a season there with Real Madrid where he didn't score a goal, but that's not very good. 11 assists though, which is a new record total of assists for him in the season. 3 Player of the Match awards and his highest average rating, which I'm guessing is because he didn't play as many times. Again, we'll check to see if he had any major injuries, which he did. He had a couple of minor ones. Bruised ankles kept him out for a couple of days, but then he got a torn hamstring in March of 2032 while jumping, and that kept him out for 2 months. So how did Real Madrid do? Well, they won the Champions League again, they won La Liga again, and they won the Spanish Cup. And the Euros is currently ongoing, Euro 2032. England have got Germany in the quarterfinals, so we'll see how England do in that and how Bellingham does in the rest of this competition when we look at next season. So Bellingham's just completed his 10th season with Real Madrid, and he's back up to above 30 games in the season, 32 games to be exact. 4 goals for him this year is his biggest total, his joint highest total of goals in a season ever. A joint with a season at Dortmund and a season at Birmingham. 5 assists, no Player of the Match awards, but an average rating of 7.39, so he's still performing to a very high standard for Real Madrid. They won the Champions League this season. I see no domestic honours for Real Madrid there. And he's also won the European South American Super Cup, which was a game between Brazil and England. Does that mean that England won the Euros last year? It does indeed. England beating Holland 2-0 at the Euros. It was played in London, so sort of a home win for England there in the Euros. Not even sort of, definitely a home win, because London is in England, if you didn't know. And as you would guess, Real Madrid losing out in La Liga by minimal points to Barcelona once again. Season 11 is in the bag for Bellingham, and he's only played 25 times this season. 3 goals, 7 assists, 5 Player of the Match awards, a solid 7.33 average rating. I'm guessing he got injured again. Yeah, he had a couple of moderate injuries. Pulled knee ligaments kept him out for 3 weeks, and then a twisted ankle kept him out for 3 weeks. So that explains that. And then in terms of what they won, Real Madrid winning both the Champions League and La Liga once again. It is a World Cup year, so we'll see how he's done with England in the World Cup next season. So it's his 12th season with Real Madrid. He's getting on a bit now. He's 32 years old, Jude Bellingham, and he's played 36 games for them. That's the most number of games he's played in a season for Real Madrid since his first season with them. 6 goals, 10 assists, and 4 Player of the Match awards. An average rating of 7.55, which is his second highest in a season for Real Madrid. They've only won La Liga though. No Champions League success for him this time out. We'll see how far they got in the Champions League. I'm assuming he didn't have any major injuries this year. No, he didn't. So they made it to the round of 16 and got knocked out by fellow Spanish side Celta. Celta Vigo? What are they doing there? Celta Vigo just coming out of nowhere to finish 4th in La Liga last season. That's a bit of a shocker. I'm just interested now as to how far they got in the Champions League. They got knocked out by PSG, so it didn't last much longer. Only one round longer than Real Madrid. Slight tangent there, but back to Bellingham and England. And England losing 2-1 in the quarterfinals of the 2034 World Cup to Brazil. One thing to check, is Bellingham still playing for England? Yes, he is. He's 32 years old, but he's still there, still playing for them. There's a lot of new gens in there, but Saka, Bellingham and Elliott and Ramsdale still remain in the first 11 from real life. Phil Foden also in there. There's a few others still hanging around. But we're almost at the stage of full new gen teams. So how has 33-year-old Jude Bellingham got on in his 13th season with Real Madrid? Well, he's played 36 times again, 8 goals, 8 assists, 5 Player of the Match awards, 7.51 average rating. I just bypassed that 8 goals. That's his highest ever goal total in a season. So he's coming good deep into his 30s, Jude Bellingham. Real Madrid only winning the Spanish Cup though this season. No La Liga title for them. No Champions League victory for them either. Losing out to Barcelona once again by a point. You could have guessed at that by this stage. In the Champions League, they made it all the way to the final once again, but lost 2-1 to Liverpool in the Champions League final. And Bellingham's still there, still playing for England. He's got to have a ridiculous number of caps by now. He's got on 167 caps, 19 goals. But he isn't the most capped player, as Bukayo Saka has 173 caps. So Bellingham chasing Saka, he needs to try and make sure that Saka retires from international football before him. Another season in the books, and it's 32 appearances this time out. Only 4 goals, 3 assists, 2 Player of the Match awards, 7.4 average rating. And Real Madrid won the La Liga title and the Spanish Super Cup. Only making it to the round of 16 where they lost out to PSG in the Champions League. They are currently playing out the Club World Cup, though, the Club World Championship as I should call it. They've got Man City in the semi-final of that. That's the newly arranged tournament. And Jude Bellingham still playing for England, still getting his caps there, 34 years old. I don't see Bukayo Saka in there, so it could be that he has now got the record number of caps. He has. He's the most capped player for England with 178. Bukayo Saka has 174 caps for England, so he's beaten him by 4. Saka, incidentally, just spending his whole career at Arsenal. 621 appearances is ridiculous. And I was just interested to see how England did in the Euros, and they got knocked out by France yet again in the second round of the Euros in 2036. Now, Bellingham is nothing if not committed, as he has done his 15th season with Real Madrid, playing 32 times, 4 goals, same as last season, 6 assists, 3 Player of the Match awards, and a 7.37 average rating. I think he's 35 years old now. He's 35 years old now and still playing very regularly for Real Madrid. No competition wins, though, this season. I think that's only the second time that's happened in this experiment. So Real Madrid finishing all the way down in 3rd in La Liga. What's gone on this year? That's a terrible performance from them. Only making it to the round of 16 again, losing to Liverpool in the Champions League. Knocked out in the 4th round of the Spanish Cup to Real Sociedad as well. Not good times for Real Madrid. And looking at the England national team, Jude Bellingham is still playing for England at 35 years old. He is just extending that cap record. It's up to 189 now. Can he make it to 200 before he retires? It's his 16th season in the books. 36 years old, Jude Bellingham. And he's still playing regularly. 33 games this season, 3 goals, 1 assist, 1 Player of the Match award. His average rating, though, has dropped tremendously. That is his lowest average rating that we have access to on the game. Real Madrid, however, coming back from their disappointing 3rd place finish last season to win the La Liga title. They made it all the way to the Champions League semi-finals as well, losing it to Liverpool in that. And in the Spanish Cup, they only made it to the quarterfinals, losing out to Barcelona. And it looks like Bellingham has finally left the England fold. Not sure if he would have been still in it as of last year's World Cup, but England only made it to the 3rd round anyway, losing 2-1 to Italy. So that means Bellingham has set the record of caps. He hasn't made it to 200. He's made it to 196, which is still a ridiculous number of caps for England. So he's got that record, which I imagine will stay for a very long time. Now, we've just got on to season 17 of Bellingham at Madrid, but something's caught my eye here. Liverpool and Klopp have parted ways. So this means Jurgen Klopp has been at the club this whole time. And even more shockingly, Pep is still at City. And Pep's not retired yet. Pep's still at City. Klopp and Guardiola just dominating Europe and England and Europe in the past 25 years. Ridiculous. But back to Bellingham, 37-year-old Jude Bellingham, and his 17th season with Real Madrid has ended with him playing only 23 games for them, which is the joint lowest number of games that he's ever played in a season for them. 1 goal, 1 player of the match award. Average rating is the lowest ever at 6.87. I'm assuming he's not been getting games, not because of injury, but because he's getting old. Actually, he seems to be developing some sort of issue with his thigh. There's lots of thigh injuries here, so a tight thigh kept him out for a day, pulled thigh for 11 days, and damaged elbow for 2 weeks. So he has missed a bit of game time because of injury, but I'm guessing it's also due to the fact that he's getting on a bit. Real Madrid only winning La Liga this year. No European success, no domestic cup success for them either. Winning La Liga by 5 points, making it to the round of 16 of the Champions League, losing to Bayern. It seems they either get to the final or the round of 16. There's no in between for them. In the Spanish Cup, losing in the quarterfinals, shockingly, to Rayo Vallecano. And Jude Bellingham has had a few more call-ups to England. I just thought I'd check out of interest. He's got 201 caps now. So he has breached the 200 mark, which is exactly what I wanted to see him do. And he could even potentially get a few more. Now, we've made it to the end of Bellingham's 18th season with Real Madrid. And as you can see, he is no longer a player. He is retired from playing. He's a manager now, an unemployed manager. But he did play this season with Real Madrid, playing only 23 times, the same number as last year. No goals, 1 assist, no player of the match awards, average rating of 6.85. You can see why he retired. He's been deteriorating for the past 3 seasons, in all honesty, but what a career he's had. Let's take a look at his milestones from his last season with the club, winning just the Spanish Super Cup. How did Real Madrid get on? They lost by 4 points in the league to Barcelona. In the Champions League, they made it to the knockout playoff round, losing to Lyon, which is unfortunate, and then losing in the final of the Spanish Cup to Barcelona as well. So what a career Bellingham has had. He's stayed at Real Madrid for 18 seasons, I think it is. 35 competition wins throughout his entire career. He's won the Spanish Super Cup 6 times. He won the European South American Super Cup with England once. Spanish Cup 6 times. The German Cup with Dortmund twice. UEFA Super Cup with Real Madrid once, the Champions League 5 times, Euros with England once, the Club World Championship with Real Madrid once, and the La Liga with Real Madrid 12 times in his career. What we'll do is we'll advance forward a few more seasons, just see if he gets a job or if he just fully retires. And then we might check to see how his brothers got on as well. So unfortunately, Jude Bellingham has not managed to get himself a managerial job and he is just retired. But again, like I said, what a career. 201 appearances for England, 22 goals, 552 games for Real Madrid, 49 goals, 35 competition wins in his entire career. I bet Job can't match that. In fact, I've had to go back in time to the season where Jude Bellingham retired from playing to find Job, and he's currently sitting as an assistant manager, unemployed. He's just recently retired as well. In fact, I think he retired before Jude did. So we'll take a look at his playing career. So he obviously starts at Birmingham, got a move to Southampton for 8.75 million, a loan at Preston where he did okay, playing quite regularly for them. Back at Southampton in the Premier League, playing all right for them a few times, grabbing just 1 goal though. Then got a move to Bundesliga with Frankfurt where he played 9 times in his first season, average rating of 6.67. You can see this isn't heading in the same direction as Jude Bellingham's career with Real Madrid. He had a loan at Köln where he played a handful of times, back at Frankfurt, and then loaned out to Leipzig where they eventually bought him for 7.75 million. He scored twice for them in 23 games. Went away from them to Freiburg for 4.5 million, 3 goals for them, or 4 goals altogether for them. Went on a free to Sunderland, 2 goals in the Championship, 1 in 3 games in the Premier League. A loan to Coventry in League One where he played the best of his career in League One, so maybe that's his level. Then back at Sunderland where he retired. So what have we learned from this? Well, we've learned the obvious, that Jude Bellingham going to Real Madrid is going to bring success to both him and Real Madrid themselves. But we've also learned that Jude Bellingham isn't going to have anywhere near the career that his brother is, unfortunately. So that is it for this experiment video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know how you think Jude Bellingham is going to get on, whether you think he is actually going to fully commit to Real Madrid or if Man City are going to come in with a late bid for him, which, to be fair, he would make a pretty decent signing for them. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to get him. If you're enjoying these experiment videos, Let me know as well in the comment section down below. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel to get all more content when it comes out, and I'll see you next time.